The start of a short-term ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has been delayed. And according to a top Israeli official, moreover, according to sources, Israel's Mossad director David Barnea has arrived in Doha to meet with the Qatari Prime Minister and other officials to discuss the finer details of the deal. While the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has said that he has directed his intelligence agency Mossad to act against the heads of the Hamas militants. The first truce in a near 7-week-long war reached after mediation by Qatar has been hailed around the world as a sign of progress that could ease the suffering of the 2.3 million civilians who've been pounded in the Gaza Strip. But according to Israel's National Security Council's director, the contacts on the release of hostages are advancing and they are continuing constantly. He further added that the start of the release will of course take place according to the original agreement between the sides, which will quote-unquote not be ready before Friday. Now, Israel's National Security Council director's statement has come hours after the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu held a press conference late on Wednesday. However, Netanyahu did not make a mention of a potential delay in implementation of the agreement during the press conference. And according to reports, the release of the hostages, along with a 4-day ceasefire, was originally set to begin on Thursday morning. That is, it should have begun today. But that has not happened because the Israelis at the last minute have said that they want to have more talks. Now, the breakthrough, remember, had been agreed between Israel and Hamas to let aid enter into the Gaza Strip and to facilitate the release of at least about 50 hostages held by the Hamas fighters in exchange for at least about 150 Palestinians who have been held in Israeli prisons, oftentimes without even a charge. But according to the spokesperson for Israel's National Security Council, they have stressed that the delay does not indicate that the deal is in peril. Now, various Gazans do not feel the same way about the deal. They have expressed complete distrust about the planned truce between Israel and the Hamas militants.
This is a fake truce. They announce it, then they lie to people. They make them move, then they strike. This is not a life. We're not used to this. Our children run around appalled. This is so unfair.
It's
a fake and failed truce. They were talking about a truce yesterday. Children went on the streets to play and they were happy. Then on that same night, there was a strike. Is this a truce? It's either a complete ceasefire or nothing at all. We're dead anyways.
With the delay in the agreement between Israel and Hamas, Israel's chief military spokesperson has said that the war in Gaza will continue until the ceasefire brokered between the two sides will start.
Today we had a discourse with Israel's Chief of General Staff and the brigade commanders. We don't know when a ceasefire will start. We will be prepared to do everything that's required at the moment. We are focusing on the war. What we did today is to expose Hamas tunnels and destroy them. That's also what we are going to do in the coming hours, and we'll continue to do until we arrive at the stage where we have to stop.
And also our correspondent Jody Cohen is of course tracking the story very closely for us from Ra'anana in Israel, and she's joining us live with more updates. Take a look.
See 240 yellow chairs that have been set up to symbolise that the 240 hostages in Gaza are very much front of mind in the Israeli public. The hostage release deal had been expected to be implemented at 10 a.m. local time on Thursday. The start time was then delayed. According to a Palestinian official, that was because of who Hamas had included on the release list. 50 hostages, including elderly women, 30 of the child hostages and some mothers were expected to be included, and it's not yet clear who will now be included. Despite the delay, the deal is still expected to go ahead. And as well as the partial hostage release, the deal would involve a 4-day pause in fighting, which could be extended by 1 day for every 10 hostages released, up to a maximum of 10 days. And the White House has said that the war won't end after the pause, as Hamas still poses a threat. This is Jody Cohen for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.